Just moments ago, inflation data for December was officially released. Inflation now at 2.7%. That's a 0.3 change from November and on par with analysts' expectations. Let me bring in my long-lost friend, Mitch Roschelle, Chief Executive Officer of M2 Communities, LLC. Mitch, it's good to be reunited with you on the show. Thanks for hopping on. So ticking up to 2.7% in December with core inflation rising 2.6%. What's your big takeaway from that?
Well, I think, and not to jump into the Fed drama too soon, but all of the hand-wringing that if the Fed cut interest rates, it would bring inflation back, it doesn't seem like that's happened. And the other takeaway is there are some items in there like home furnishings, which everybody, and I think you and I talked about this a year ago, that home furnishings was going to be one of those categories because so much of what we buy to put in our homes comes from overseas, but it's going to get slammed with tariffs. And that's dropped. Used cars have dropped. So I think there's a lot of balance in the report, but it suggests that the inflation dragon has not, reemerged.
Yeah. So what does this mean for everyday consumers at home? This just dropped. They don't live in the weeds of this story. They just want to know how this affects their pocketbook, how their family lives day in and day out moving forward. What's this mean for everybody?
Well, restaurants prices were up, so better to eat at home. If you're buying a house, it's going to be cheaper to put stuff in it, but the price of houses are still up. And buy a used car, not a new car, because used car prices are falling and new car prices are going up. So I think it's those kinds of decisions. But the uncertainty surrounding the economy and inflation, we continue, Markie, to get data points that suggest that the economy is stronger than the pessimists suggest. And I think we're going to start to see, as we did in Christmas, the consumer feeling that and the consumer shopping.
Yeah. What about the 43-day government shutdown? Did that potentially affect the accuracy of this data at all?
Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of murkiness in, not to get into the weeds again, but in the shelter costs, which is basically, what it costs to rent or own a home. And those numbers, which are about 40% of the headline number, those numbers are still a little fuzzy. But it looks like, rents and home prices are at least easing in terms of their rise. And that's probably, from an affordability perspective, that's probably the thing that people focus on the most.
Just a little bit ago, you mentioned Jerome Powell and the Fed. I wanted your thoughts on just the latest there and this investigation that the DOJ is launching into him, this $2.5 billion renovation project that he's at the helm of. Do you worry about potential outcomes there and what that could mean for market volatility?
The market, Markie, yesterday ignored it. It was like the biggest nothing burger that the market has seen in a long time. I think they've gotten used to the drama. I don't think Powell's going anywhere until the end of his term, and he doesn't want to stay, and the president doesn't want him to stay. But I think what this is about at the end of the day is the independence of the Fed. And that's really what's sort of on trial here is the Fed truly independent? And this will play out, but I don't think the market is concerned about it, and I don't think the consumer should care about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.